What? Okie dokie. That doesn't sound good. Well, I was gonna start the video. Let's see here. CDN 831. Oh, I see. It's mute. Wow. So I just lost a just lost one of my trade ships. That's fine though. Huh. That's fine. It'll be fine. Never. Let's see here. I don't necessarily want to have that keep happening, so I'm gonna do here. Set some global orders. I'm actually gonna set this to comply because I've never tried it and I want to know what it'll do. Because it might just drop some cargo. And if that happens, it'll be only a minimal loss because I'm making the stuff. Anyway, hello, welcome to Xenopocalypse, where the Xenon have been handed all the systems, and we're gonna go and try and reclaim the whole. We're gonna try to reclaim everything back from them. There hasn't been a lot of time spent in this galaxy. I know that there's a whole bunch of stations that I own now all of a sudden. So let's go over those real quick. I want to kickstart this off and like really start the AI factions trying to buy from my stations and build up. So first, let's go over the stations. They're a little special. These stations are self-sufficient without any miners needed. That's because of these buildings produce energy cells from nothing, which gets the whole process started. Then these stations exchange energy cells for the various raw resources, silicon, ore, helium, hydrogen, methane, ice. These are all set up with on-purpose dormitories because that provides higher skilled crews for the wharfs and things. The wharfs and uh, the large and extra large ship fabs, and the small medium ship fab. That's what I'm trying to say. The more skilled crews come out of the Vigor dormitories. They're Argon, but they should be Vigor. Or they should be called Vigor, so that way we know which one's which. It's hard to remember dormitory or habitat. Habitat's the normal one, dormitory's the special fancy one you want. Okay, so that's the station. Each station has a pheromone art gallery, which is normally locked behind a terraforming mission for the Boron Queendom. The Queendom doesn't exist, as far as we know yet. I haven't done that storyline yet, so I'm going to be doing some storylines in this video, or like start up some storylines or try to, and we'll see how that affects everything. This is going to be interesting because I have no idea what's going to happen. The game might crash. Who knows? The game's pretty stable. I doubt it'll crash. Well, we might see some weird strangeness that will make the playthrough not really viable. Let's put it like that. Okay, these are pre-placed stations. I didn't make these stations in this galaxy. So we have a Terran economy station. Everything is set up to self-supply from the energy cells. These are kind of interesting to watch as everything just turns on. So at first, first the energy cells are the only thing that are producing, and everything else is in red. And then once the energy cells get made, all of these kick on. And then once all these kick on, it just keeps going and going until the final products are made. That being computronic substrate, metallic microlattice, and silicon carbide. It turns out that making these stations instead of doing these scrapping stations is way more efficient, which is, I guess it's not that big of a surprise. So I'm getting 145 from the 145% worker growth from the three welfare buildings, and then the majority of the work is coming from just large habitats. So those welfare buildings are, I guess, nice in theory, but they kind of don't really do anything comparatively to the habitats themselves. Actually, that should read large dormitory, not habitat. Chalk another one up to inconsistency in making this game. So there's that. Now then, this station is doing what it's meant to do and selling to the Terran economy, and it's positioned to sell to the Terran economy. So there's that. And it's placed over in Venus. The reason I have it placed over in Venus is because the Terran shipyard is over in the moon, and that's one jump away, and the wharf is also one jump away, along with orbital supply stations. So that's gonna keep the Terrans going.
I was asked to drop my cargo.
Okay, which one? Did you comply like I told you to? Was it you? What are you doing? Why are you fleeing? Don't do that. Just drop the cargo and keep going, dude. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna need to get some patrol ships out and deal with the miniature raiders. I do have a couple of ships. I'm sorry, I'm going over stations. I need to stay focused real quick. So these are self-supplying stations. They're going to take a long time to build up, and then these aren't making any ships because I don't own the blueprints, and I can't buy the blueprints till I start making money from these stations. So the Terran economy is what's going to be driving money-making profit. And the way this works is this station account system and this whole logistics screen is kind of horrible. Let's just be honest here. It's kind of horrible. And the AI, the way I've set this up is I've built enough storage. One of the problems I'm having, I guess, well, one of the problems everyone will have is if you build enough storage or overbuild some storage, what the station will try to do is completely fill the storage to the maximum instead of just filling up or allowing the production to just be set at what the maximum it can handle. So it's asking for way over budget what it actually needs to get anything done instead of Um, instead of, I don't know how they would even try to fix this because this is just a mess. This station doesn't need any funding in order to make anything. I have everything set to restrict everyone else but me, so only ships are coming in and buying stuff. And what happens is purchasing. Why is the money going down? What? Buys 21 silicon carbide. What's wrong with the silicon carbide price? Okay, anyway, I'll figure that out later. What is this? Oh, we're buying silicon carbide. Why are we buying silicon carbide? Okay, we shouldn't be buying silicon carbide. Oh, that makes sense. Missed one. Like everything else. So I have to click through all these menus individually, which is a large pain, and then manage all the buy offers. Obviously, I missed that one. And then set the trade rule. Oh, I missed two. Like, really? No wonder I'm not making money. Computronic substrate is expensive, and I'm already making some. I don't understand why it's trying. Oh, it's trying to fill up for the small medium fabs. That's fine. So anyway, I was trying to explain why this is horrible. Because of the storages I've built, it's trying to fill the storages all the way full, and then there's like a certain amount that the small medium fabs, large fab, and extra large fab will ask for, and it's all handled automatically, and it doesn't tell you um, what storage allocation it's automatically set to. So it automatically manages. Oh my god, it's advanced electronics are something we want to store a lot of. All right, so I have to go through and manually correct issues like this. Again, there's going to be a lot of turrets being built by the AI factions. A lot of field coils are going to be needed. And in theory, the AI should manage the storage allocation better. But it sucks at it, obviously, because I have to go back in here. Now what's happening is when I manually set these storages like this, what it's doing is it's lowering the storage amount for other things and then increasing the or allotting more space for the storage that I'm setting. I don't know if I need a lot of drone components. So that's what's happening. It's lowering the storage amount for silicon carbide that has, I don't know, just a stupid amount allotted to it. That's fine for smart chips. They get made pretty quickly, but it's allotting like crazy amounts for things. Like, look at the amount it's allotting for that. Why? And why does it think there's not enough storage there? Like, seriously? Metallic micro lattice. Let's let it have 50. And that'll give enough room for everything else. So see how it's really bad at managing storage levels to just keep manufacturing going? It charges, or it's thinking it needs this huge minimum recommended budget. When it does it, it's way over budget. That's what I'm trying to get at. So what's going to happen is every time I make cells or profit at all, instead of going into the player account where I can use that to turn around and buy ships and everything, it's going into the station account, and it'll stay in the station account until it goes over what it thinks it needs for minimum, or whatever these numbers mean, which right now is a ton. So it's going to take a really long time for this to fill up, and then the station will automatically then send the profits to the player account. Or I could just manually go through and reduce this number to 0 and manually take the money out of the stations as needed, which I will probably be doing for a while till I get enough blueprints to get the AI factions rolling. And once I've micromanaged my stations well enough. Wow, really? That's where all the space is going? I hate the management system on this. It's so dumb. Why do you need 5,000? You don't even need 5,000 engine parts. You know, she will need a ton of his whole parts. Eh. This is not the fun content that I wanted to get to today. Let's just put 10,000 on that. I think 50,000 is too much. I can half this. Let's just put 5,000 on that. And for now, instead of letting it say it wants to keep all of this, I'm going to be selling. I'm going to let the price be automatic, but I am going to sell all of the Terran stuff till I can get some cash flow in. Where's the carbide at? And then I'm going to use the money I make to buy the blueprints to actually make ships, because right now we don't have any blueprints for ships. And I want to set up, I want to get the Argon faction up, or the Antigon. And they both use similar ships, or the same ships. So I want to start doing that and get those ships first, because those can be built in closed loop, most of them. I need to make sure that this has drones. Yeah, these menus are aggravating. There we go. Not that I'll need repair drones. Well, then building drones are the most important drone here. Because building drones are the drones that are going to make the ships. So having 0 drones will make the build time for even a small ship 1 hour or something like that. Ridiculous. Whereas having up to 200, I think the more build drones you have, the more it affects it up to a cap, and then you get diminishing returns. So you can get the build time down to like 30 seconds or a minute or something like that for almost any ship with enough build drones. So that's why I want drones on, especially on small medium fabs. I want build drones. So there's that. Right now I'm using the Terran closed loop system, and most people probably won't understand what that is. So the closed loop system or the way it works is there are certain blueprints. All the Argon blueprints on all the Terran blueprints specifically work off of their own different type of closed loop. And what that means is instead of having to build every single component um, in the economy, instead of having to do advanced electronics, instead of having to build computronic substrate or silicon carbide and everything like that, you only have to build the main things like whole parts and claytronics, metallic microlattice, silicon carbide. You only have to build a couple of things and energy cells, and you can make everything that they can buy in their economy, like all the ships. They can just make it out of the basic stuff instead of going through and making all the complex materials. So the closed loop system was put in with the Tides of Avarice, and all the argon, because the Vigor faction and the Riptide Rakers are also argon. They're an argon faction, so all the argon blueprints just take whole parts, claytronics, and energy cells to build, including things like missiles, shield, things that would normally take shield components, turret components. All of those are replaced to just whole parts and claytronics. So it really it simplifies and streamlines shipbuilding for those factions. And there's lots of information online and the Discord. So if you have more questions about how that works, I would recommend the Discord because there are a lot of smart people in there and they're all really helpful. Okay, I'm gonna look over this logistical overview real quick. No, I missed one. How do I keep missing this silicon carbide? Oh, well, that's a little different. Hmm. Ooh. Okay, so things are actually working hopefully quite well. I need to get trade ships for the gases and the ores because the AI will not buy gas or ore. They don't buy those from stations. They go out and mine everything. They're not set up in whatever the scripting is for buying those. Okay, I think this station is actually miraculously set up right, or right enough. Actually, I should have looked at that again. Oops.
Hello there. Hello there.
The thing we shouldn't be full on is whole parts. Should have at least 30,000 whole part storage. There we go. Advanced electronics, at least, I want to say at least 10,000 in the storage. Turret components for this, we're going to need 10,000. I think. Field coils will probably need like 5,000. For everything I'm planning, probably 10,000 on the shields. And it should, the balancing act that the AI should do from there, it should be able to keep enough balance to do to juggle around the resources to keep everything producing. Fingers crossed, you know. I need engine parts and antimatter converters. So I'm gonna need to go buy blueprints to make some of these. I do have the stations all set to not sell ships to anyone. That's right here. And I'm pretty sure I had to assign a ship trader to the stations in order to trade ships, but I'm not sure how that's working anymore. But I don't have any ships to buy yet, so maybe that's why it's just not calling for that right now. Alright, this station just supplies whole parts and claytronics. And the reason this station isn't getting imports is because it hasn't made any sales, so there's no money in the station account. So it needs money in the station account to buy materials for the drone import, or for the drones that I'm queuing up. So I will funnel a little bit of money into this. Let's say, oh, not that much. I'll give the station a mill, and then it'll import what it needs, or it should. And it shouldn't import anything it doesn't need, hopefully. So that'd be a waste of money. So it should bring in enough materials to make the drones. And if I'm lucky, they'll source it from my own stations. We'll see though. Okay, so the whole point of this station, and why it's positioned in Getsufun, is because once the Commonwealth starts being opened up and ready for expansion, they're going to be needing a ton of whole parts and claytronics, along with everything else. But the big two are whole parts and claytronics. So I'm making that preemptively as part of a new game starts. That way, I want to see if the AI will actually go in and start reclaiming and building the sectors. So that's the whole point of that station. And this one is pure profit, believe it or not. Cool. This one's going to be my big profit station. So that's going to fuel all my blueprints and everything like that. And then I will keep building trade ships for this from the Terran Wharf, because I can't build them myself yet. And hopefully I can get some large trade ships eventually. So I think even the minimum preset loadout for this is pretty spendy. Yeah, it's a million. So I'm gonna make 4 of those. Or no, 3 of these. And they need energy cells, of course they do. So it's gonna take a second for the Terran Wharf to build that. I wonder if I can actually get a large trade ship. This is one of the better trade ships in the game anyway, so there's that. Ooh. And a really fun part about the large trade ship, let's see here. Almost no difference in between these, so the all-rounder is faster. And it's not even close. The all-rounder is like twice as fast as the travel drives. And that's because of the engine type. The amount of time it takes to get into travel drive should be halved. So every time it spins up its travel drive, if you buy a travel drive, it takes an exceptionally long time to spin the drive up and then go. whereas an all-rounder takes half the time. So that's why I'm going with the all-rounder there. Actually, should probably just go with a high preset and then lower everything down, or lower a few things down to low preset. That way it assigns all the turrets to the turret slots. And there's a big cost saver right there. Never fall for that. About 6 mil. Actually, I well follow the order and drop the cargo. I'm gonna have to turn the alert off. The shipyard can supply. Okay, cool. I wasn't expecting to get into large trade ships already, but that will alleviate all of the cargo thieving problems. Yeah, cool. Getting a large trade ship will help. Oops, dock ships. No, no. Why are you fleeing? Like you shouldn't have the flee order. You just drop the cargo and move on. Okay, you are actively trading, so are you. Means these can be assigned here. I forgot to go over those two special ships trade routes. These two are on repeat orders to buy from my station and sell to the Alliance shipyard over here. Oh, they just need drone components and smart chips now. Alright. So you guys, orders are complete.
Requesting permission to dock.
Alright, you have a little Claytronics and no one to sell it to, I promise. Oh, let's see. Okay, my stations are buying whole parts. Oh, someone over here buying Claytronics and whole parts? What? The wharf is? Really? Okay. No, they're not. What? Oh, the shipyard is. Okay. Let's see the shipyard of the build storage is. There it is. There. Go do that, and then I'll assign you to a commander to trade. You are good to trade. I'm gonna assign that there. The Alliance shipyard is... Oh, yeah, they're still building. Okay. I'm pretty sure if I assign this to trade for the commander, it doesn't remove the order that I gave it. Oh, I guess it does. Never mind. I'll just reassign the order. There. And then it should be able to make up its own mind from there. Alright, alright. That should be all the uninteresting... Well, it's not uninteresting, but that should be most of the... what I didn't think I was going to be doing done. And maybe we can get that alliance of the word shipyard going and they can build ships. That'll be cool. I'll try to get this station up and going in between videos, and we'll see how that works. Yeah, we'll see if the AI actually builds from there. Kind of waiting on this Okinawa. I do have. Do I have a hexadock on this? I'm sure I do, but yes. Okay, so I do have a hexadock built onto all of these stations. I went through and I used the one game mode that I normally never touch, which is the station designer, to come up with these stations. And of course mods. And yeah, plopped them in during the game start. So we'll see if this actually does anything. I mean, it should. That should propel the factions to go in and start taking over. Ooh, and the Terrans are moving in. I mean, it makes sense. The Terrans have the most... the Terrans are the faction that's being supercharged right now by the economy. And maybe I shouldn't do that so much, but we'll find out how far they expand. In the meantime, let's talk about this basilisk real quick. This is fun.
Entering system. The void.
So the basilisk. I noticed that the front firing weapons, the main guns of the ship, were the only thing that were firing when I gave it patrol orders, and then it decided to attack stations. Now then, this thing is extremely overpowered right now because it's decked out with Earl King turrets, large and mediums. So this thing can probably wipe out an armada unless you give it to the AI when it has forward-firing weapons. Because if it has forward-firing weapons, the AI goes from semi-competent to absolutely just stupid. So I've removed the forward-firing weapons, the main gun. It does not have any main guns. And lo and behold, when it has to rely on just its turrets, it actually flies around. It doesn't stay in one spot, and it's actually kind of competent. And on the patrol orders, it's actually really deadly and useful, which is shocking. So I guess that's the fix to all large ships, is just take away their main guns, and all of a sudden they grow a brain.
Explosion imminent.
So that's really cool. There's a ton of salvage here. Excuse me, I'm gonna vacuum up all my salvage real quick. Any more salvage? Nope. Okay, you can have the helm back. Now then, on to what I was actually going to do.
Sit rep.
Something hit us.
How many... Um... I can get advanced satellites for free now, and those can be used... The advanced satellites can be used to boost the AI stations. And what I mean by boost is I can load a ship up with a whole bunch of advanced satellites in a large ship, probably like over 250 or no, 250, and I get them quote unquote for free at my station, effectively free. And then what that will do is then I can sell those to an AI faction at their stations. And what that'll do is they'll break those down for parts they need, like I think it'll break down to advanced electronics, whole parts, or claytronics, or something along those lines. And what that'll do is it'll let them build ships out of it. So there's a sneaky way to boost up a shipyard or a wharf. That's not the only thing I'm going to do. I'm actually going to have this ship come out here, and we are going to go hunt around for the Arcadian Endeavor.
We were hit.
And we're going to see if we can actually do that storyline to completion, even though the sectors that would normally be a part of that are taken over by the Xenon. So that's what I'm going to go try to do. I'll try to do in this video too. So that's what's up next. Let me make a save real quick, just in case. You know, it turns out that without all the factions doing factional wars and everything, the game is actually no infinite loading screens, even with all my mods. I think the door's locked. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can... Alright, I'm going to put the live stream view on my Basilisk and let you guys watch that while I go check on something. I'll be right back.
Is that the best you can do?
Alright, there we go. Alright, so the Terrans are moving out again. Oh yeah, I should mention what's one of the funnier things that's happened a development from. See if I can see where it's been. One of the funny developments that I've noticed, and it's probably more due to the unique start that this Xenopocalypse is. Excuse me. Come on. Like I was saying, one of the things that's been happening is there's been a large amount of Yaki, and like I'm not kidding when I say a large amount. There's been like a whole patrol fleet of like a carrier worth, like 30 ships flying around this sector and all sorts of other sectors and terrorizing the Terran patrols. And like gigantic battles have been happening throughout these sectors, which has been hilarious because I've been running over and scooping up a lot of the remains that come from such a battle. And it's really funny that they're going through with huge fleets and doing that, which I think is great. I think it's really funny. So they're so choosing the neutral Yaki has definitely had an effect on the Terrans, and they're constantly raiding the Terrans, which is really funny. Anyway, back to what I was doing.
I'll erase you from space.
So I think, or no, one of the other things is the vanilla turret increase to all large and extra large ships. It makes it so that the large ships are actually an extreme threat to fighter swarms. So carriers are way less effective with those mods, which is interesting. It's a very interesting thing that's happening. All right, so I'm gonna
Noted. Vanguard.
go around the loop real quick with my decked out Node and Vanguard. Actually, do I even have what I need to start the Empyrean Curse storyline? I should have Unstable Crystal. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of illicit goods in my inventory.
Prepare to be wiped out. Big mistake.
Entering system. Second contact.
Looks like all the light ships got blown up from the carrier. Oh, the Asgard's in, and it's got its nose pointed at the station. That'll do it. The Terrans have been losing Asgards left and right. How did you miss? What? Alright then. And you need to leave. Get out. Also, the Tokyo carrier is, or should be, formidable. It's got 6 large turret slots added on to that mod. So the carriers are nothing to sniff at either. It's just the fighter swarms are terrible now. For the Xenon and for the for anybody else that's not Xenon. Can I deploy? Oh, I can't deploy satellites while I'm on the superhighway. That's lame.
Entering system. Argon Prime.
Yeah. Usually like to deploy satellites around the ring to get an idea of what traffic is doing what. And you know, when you're expecting large invasion fleets and they never show up, keeping track of what's on the ring might help.
Entering system. Haptic choice.
This automated message is being broadcast exclusively in proximity to Reddit's end. Signs indicate that we will imminently witness the extraordinarily rare reactivation of a jump gate. The Alliance of the Word has assembled an expedition to study this rare event. A reactivation, able to be investigated scientifically, is an exceedingly uncommon opportunity. You are welcome to join us.
Okay, so what I imagine is going on is that ship is over there just constantly being bombarded by attacks and is invulnerable. I'd bet I'd bet that's what's going on over there. But instead of betting, I'm just gonna go find out here in a second. I'm not sick anymore. It's just this cough that won't go away. So I guess technically I'm sick, but none of the symptoms, no fever, nothing, which is just really annoying mostly. Oops.
Entering system. Farnham's Legend.
Okay, the Alliance Defense Platform is still active, which means I can buy more advanced satellites from them if I need to. Because no matter what happens, that station, or the Alliance of the Word stations, should be fully stocked if they're pre-placed stations. If they build new stations, I don't know. That's the thing about the Alliance of the Word stations, though. Always 100% stocked all the time.
Entering system. Silent Witness.
Makes me wonder if the Duke's Buccaneers are still just out and about in their
Entering
sectors.
system. Profit Center Alpha.
No. Destroyed Xenon factory. What's out here destroying Xenon?
Entering system. Bright Promise. Entering system. Trinity Sanctum.
Oops, I missed the satellite. That's okay. Got good coverage anyway.
Entering system. Unholy Retribution. Entering system. Pious Mists. Entering system. Pontifex's Claim.
Oh, right. This is such a small sector that it doesn't warrant more than one satellite, but that's okay.
Entering system. Holy Vision.
I wonder if the usual abandoned ships are still there too. There's so many things to check on to see if they're all where they're supposed to be. All the stuff is where it's supposed to be. The usual Easter egg stuff, I mean. There's at least 2 large ships I can go grab for free. So that'll be interesting
Entering
to see.
system. Prusight.
I can go get a hair dryer and a split ship, I want to say. Apparently they don't like it when people reference the Paranid ships as hair dryers. I mean, they kind of do look like hair dryers. They're extremely dangerous hair dryers because Paranid weapons hit hard and at long range.
Entering system.
Oh, I should
Second
put one
contact.
right. Alright. Now for the part to see if the Arcadian Endeavor is still where I think it is. Oh right, all the asteroids are gonna be like tutti frutti colored. Thanks to the mods for the crystals. I'm not really interested in hunting down crystals right now because I have a passive income, but it is interesting. I should probably slow down when I'm deploying those because it'll travel with me for a while. Oh,
Entering system. Black hole sun.
the real question is will there be a tuta here? And it's going to tell me about its salvage operations or not. That'd be really funny. Well, it'd be kind of sad, but it'd be funny too. Uh-oh.
Barbarossa.
Oh, Barbarossa. Oh, yeah.
Salvage team, what is your status? This is salvage team. All systems operational. Processing underway.
So that's the last
Acknowledged.
scrap.
We are standing by.
And I believe that ship is invulnerable because it had voice lines because it's waiting for the player
This
to
is
show up.
salvage team. Last scrap cube processed. Ready for pickup.
Which means this is going to be extra funny too.
Acknowledged.
I
Picking
would
up
imagine.
Cargo secured.
Oh, this is going to be extra
Clearing
funny.
the area. We're all done here. Setting course for home. We should be able to get there before the tide. Understood. See you back home.
Alright, so I should get a little cutscene in here, which would be extra funny. I wonder if I even will. I don't remember where the Aurora Casino is normally. I guess that might be tied to the actual station, though. From what it looks like. And the station obviously isn't there. Okay, will the NPCs be in this next sector as well?
Entering. Windfall 3. The Hood. Turn. Sentinel.
Come on. Don't make this difficult, Britson. You're the one who broke the rules.
What rules? I'm trying to make a living here.
Okay, one last time. No illegal.
What does illegal even mean in these parts? You're just taking whatever you want.
Quit whining. We're not taking anything that isn't already ours. You weren't supposed to get this far in the first place.
You have no idea how important this is to me. It's all I have left. My family is starving.
Of course I know that, idiot. It's how the business is run. Our lives are all just business, and you've made a miscalculation. Now drop your cargo.
You know what? No, not this time. Riptide, you out there? Want to come and help settle a few scores?
Not part of the plan, not part of the plan. The boss will be so mad.
Okay, that's actually really funny that the Earl King is right there.
Abnormal power signature detected.
It appears to be coming from that large vessel. Such a power signature points to some rather unorthodox engineering. Even through the interference, it is easy to see that this ship is formidable, albeit not yet proven. I fathom that, considering a boarding operation, although I do not expect it to be a simple matter.
Hey, you. In fighter. Split scans show you carry contraband. Safe to say you do not mind dirtying hands. If true, Split want to offer mission you might be interested in.
If I may suggest, my assistant should stay clear of any illicit business.
Nonsense! You should never pass up an opportunity to gain some insight into this place's socio-economic structure. Besides, in a system owned by the Syndicate, who is the real criminal?
Barbarossa. Docking granted. Successfully docked. Nodin, Vanguard.
Okay, there we go. Mike should be unmuted now. I'm gonna put my ship down into the Arcadian Endeavor. So the thing about NPC quest ships is they should be invulnerable. So a whole bunch of them didn't even exist until I spawned in. Note that the Earl King is not invulnerable. Or I don't think it should be invulnerable, because you are meant to capture it yourself. And the Vig are extremely difficult to kick out of their own sector. So you'll notice that when I flew by, the debris underneath the Earl King is the large trade station that the Vig have. And for whatever reason, that station just comes back on its own. Rises from the ashes no matter what you do. So it's actually really funny to see that the Xenon have been wiping it out over and over again. That's not exactly pleasant to see. I think there might be a K or an I over there attacking that station. Alright, I've been dropping satellites into these sectors just to see if there is NPC stations. Now then, the Avarice systems should be especially interesting because of how that the tide works in that system. So, and how the RIP faction has stations that can resist the tide due to story stuff that I'm not going to get into. But it'd be interesting to see if the RIP faction gets to come back out of there or not, or will just be like fully respawned basically in there because all of the um oh, because all of the Xenon stations might, I think they might get destroyed, but due to the tide. And then that would be really funny if things like Riptide Station, all the Riptide Breakers, just respawn. It'd be funny and kind of sad because we'd get we'd definitely get confirmation that you can never ever fully kill the big faction or the Rip faction. They're just no matter what always there. And I'm pretty sure that's the case, but I don't have a way to verify that. I'm gonna see if I can't get some of these sectors mapped out. In the meantime as well, I'm gonna try to do the Empyrean Curse storyline start to finish. And we'll see how that goes. And if it works, that'd be really funny. Well, actually, if it works, it should work. It's just gonna be there's gonna be a lot of unkillable NPCs running around, which is even funnier. So yeah, there's that. Oh, right. Actually, if I know how this works, it should be this sector first, followed by this sector. My Doden will more than likely get blown up because of its uh, dumb piloting. The dumb AI that pilots my ships are, well, not always smart. Even though I set them to ignore attackers, they don't boost away on that, which they should. They should just boost when they start getting attacked. And then, yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I think that'll do it for the video for now. I have a whole bunch of things I need to do today. So see how that goes, and maybe I can get another video out today. That'd be really cool. I really doubt it, though. That's too bad about this. I would actually like to save that station if I could. Oh, the void is no longer got a claim on it. Okay. Let's go over to Farnham's Legend 5 is what I want. Go now. Alright, I think that'll do it for the video. I'm going to put a save down. And in the next video, well, I'm going to try out doing this storyline first. And then if that works, I'll reload the save and go through the storyline again and probably have some hilarious times with it because of the state at which the universe is in. So if you like the video, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.